Okay, well, I just finished watching the Detroit Lions beat the Washington Commanders 44-22, and a lot better performance than they did last week against the Minnesota Vikings. The offense looked amazing, and it looked like from what I watched, Dan Campbell took over the play calling over offensive coordinator John Morton, which looks like it would be a bigger difference. Now, granted, Washington's defense is not exactly a great defense, but the play calling in and of itself looks night and day. It's more than just bubble screens and you know predictable play calling. They were running actual offensive plays that were they were going down the field a lot more, and the blocking was amazing. The offense was just outstanding. They scored on every single play except the last drive, or they scored on every single drive, I should say, on it, except for the last possession where they were just running out the clock. The punter never even saw the field. Outside of, I think he's the placeholder. Um, yeah, and then, I expected them to rebound. With the Lions, over the last 3 years, they never lost 2 games in a row. They usually rebound and play better, and they did today. It was a big win. They moved to 6-3. They are tied with the Bears, and the Lions have the tiebreaker over the Bears, so at least for second. Um, the Packers are still in first with a 5-2-1 record. We'll see how it goes. They play Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles, so that's a huge game for them. And this NFC North is really close. The Vikings lost to the Ravens, so we got some. That might be a big loss for the Lions side since we lost to the Vikings, but yeah, it's still a pretty close division, and it's going to come down to the end, like it usually does. Um, but yeah, a huge turnaround from last week, and again, I think it's a lot of it is just flat out Dan Campbell taking over play calling. The offense makes a lot more sense now, and there's still a few concerns. The defense did not really. They played good enough, but there are times when they're just giving up big pass plays, and it's concerning because Washington did not have Jaden Daniels. They had their backup Marcus Mariota, and so I'm a little concerned with the defense. I'd like to see how they look when Kirby Joseph comes back. He was out, and DJ Reed's also out. So, but I don't know. That's the only concern. And special teams, honestly, they've been struggling with kickoff returns. I mean, they didn't give up any touchdowns, but like there's been the last few weeks I've seen a few big returns and they get good field position. So uh, that needs to tighten up a little bit. Um, I mean, but that's the only nitpicks I have. They played an outstanding game, especially the offense. There was a few scares. Panay Sewell got a little dinged up, but he came back in. They cannot afford to lose him. He is the heart and soul of that offensive line, and um, yeah, I mean, it was a satisfying game considering Washington beat the Lions in the playoffs last year, so there was a little bit of vengeance that that was felt a little cathartic. Um, yeah, they didn't. Washington just had no answer for the Lions' offense. They could just march down the field at will. There was like never a doubt that the Lions would score every time they got the ball. Um, so, and I guess the big hoopla with this game was I don't want to get too much into it because it's politics, but Donald Trump was at the game and he actually was in the booth So, and a lot of people are making a big stink about it, but that's just kind of a side note. But yeah, the Lions win. They go to 6-3, and they rebound from the terrible loss last week. They had no business really losing that game. Minnesota, I don't know. My game ball, I'm going to give it to two people. I mean, the main one is Jahmyr Gibbs. Once again, he had 145 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a touchdown reception for 3 touchdowns. And I'm also going to give one to Jameson Williams. He kind of deserves one. He's been having a kind of a rough year. He hasn't really seen a lot of passes go his way, but he kind of broke out with Dan Campbell's play calling. Got 6 catches for 115 yards or something and a touchdown. It's good to see him finally get back on track. So the problem with the Lions' offense is there's so much talent across the board that it almost is a detriment to some of their statistics, because there's going to be one day where this guy goes off, and then another day this guy goes off. It's one of the best offenses I've seen the Lions ever had. And the Lions had some solid offenses, going back to Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson, and even Matthew Stafford, since he won a Super Bowl with the Rams. But yeah, so those are my 2 game balls. The next Lions game is next Sunday night. They're at Philadelphia. That's going to be a monster game. This was the Lions versus Eagles. Probably should have been the NFC Championship game last year. They just fell apart against Washington. So that should be a fun game to watch, and I am looking forward to that. My next video will be this Saturday. Michigan comes off the bye week. They're heading to Chicago to take on the Northwestern Wildcats. They're playing that game at Wrigley Field. And that, you can't overlook that game. Northwestern's a tricky team. They beat Penn State this year, so you can't take that game for granted. So that's next weekend. But the other thing about this was I got to watch. I bought a new TV today, and I got to watch this game on brand new. I'm going to show you a little bit. There's a game on. I hope it doesn't affect my video or anything, but yeah, it's a 55-inch TCL, 4K HD. Got it for about $240. Pretty good deal. I got it from Walmart, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy. So I guess that's the only other news I have. But until then, go Lions. Go Blue. Go Pistons. They're playing tonight against the 76ers. Go Red Wings, even though they got destroyed tonight against the Blackhawks 5-1. That was I watched a little bit of that game, and it's insane because they outshot the Blackhawks by 20 shots, but could only score 1 goal. So that's frustrating. And go Tigers, and congratulations. Riley Green won some award, but we have a Gold Glove winner for the Tigers. Who was it that won it? I'll have to look that up. But hold on. I forget who. I'm sure someone will tell me in the comments or something. But yeah, go Tigers. And also some bad news. No, it's too dark to see it, but it started snowing. We had our first snowfall of the year, so that's fun. But yeah, that'll do it for me. So I'll talk to you all later. Stay safe out there.